Good Tuesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And today, a nice one, but kind of a wind-driven afternoon. Look at this dramatic shot, beautiful shot once again. As we look from our Sky-Fi Tower camera, a rondo looking back down the Columbia River at Turtle Rock off to the left center of your screen. And you can see the dark silhouettes of the Cascades in the middle of the screen. Just a beautiful shot and a windy day today. And I'll tell you what, enjoy today. And I'll tell you, Wednesday and Thursday, also nice. But as we get into the end of the week, our weather is going to take a big turn. We're going to see much colder weather. We're going to see a big trough of low pressure. You can see the jet stream dipping down all the way into parts of northern Arizona and then back up into the Midwest. And that means cold air will funnel down and we will see a couple of storm systems move our way. And that will definitely change our weather as we move into the end of the week and the upcoming weekend. We will talk more about this big weather change coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Wenatchee police say an armed man displayed a handgun Monday during a minor dispute with a delivery driver. Prosecutors filed charges Monday against an East Wenatchee attorney accused of domestic violence. And Chelan County Port District commissioners are expected to sign off on plans to purchase the executive flight building at Pangbourne Airport. But first, we begin tonight. A Rock Island family is displaced after their home was destroyed by fire Monday night. The blaze was first reported at about 7:25 p.m. at the residence located on Cambridge Avenue. Douglas County Fire District 2 Fire Marshal Kurt Blanchard says the single-story wood frame structure was a total loss.
Fire, although contained to a back bedroom, unfortunately extended throughout the home. There was extensive smoke and heat damage to the home. No one was injured, and the fire is currently under investigation.
Blanchard said the owner said she had just paid off the mortgage on the home the previous week. Chelan County Fire District 1 also assisted in putting that fire out. Wenatchee police say an armed man displayed a handgun Monday during a minor dispute with a delivery driver. 36-year-old James Eugene Potridge allegedly brandished the firearm after the FedEx driver stopped to let Potridge cross on foot in front of him on North Wenatchee Avenue at about 11 a.m. While making his delivery at Hooked on Toys, the driver says Potridge approached him, showed the weapon, and worked the action. The incident was caught on security video. Police caught up with Potridge in a nearby parking lot. When searched, he was carrying a loaded .380 caliber pistol that police said he owned legally. He remains jailed on a possible charge of felony harassment. Well, prosecutors filed charges Monday against an East Wenatchee attorney accused of breaking his wife's nose. 54-year-old Paul Stephen Kuby was charged with second-degree assault more than 2 months after his spouse sought treatment on July 9th at Central Washington Hospital. She allegedly told care workers there the injury happened during a fight with her husband. 5 years ago, Kuby was arrested for contempt of court for violating a judge's orders in his own divorce case. He's now a partner at the East Wenatchee law firm of Lacey, Kane, and Kuby, where outgoing Mayor Steve Lacey is also a partner. Kuby must appear now at Douglas County Court on October 7th. His case will be heard by a visiting judge after Judge Brian Huber recused himself. Well, Chelan County Port District commissioners are expected to sign off on plans to purchase the executive flight building at Pangbourne Airport. The port's executive director, Jim Kuntz, says the building will serve as the new headquarters for the recently formed Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority.
Well, the regional port in its planning is trying to find a headquarters for the Regional Port Authority and the roughly 25 employees. And we believe having our headquarters near or at the Pangbourne Memorial Airport makes the most sense because that is one of the biggest assets that we manage on behalf of the two-county region.
The building currently serves as home base for the Douglas County Port District. Kuntz says the port will purchase the building and attached hangar for $4 million. He said Chelan County's existing headquarters at Old Station will be leased out for private business development. Commissioners will meet Wednesday to formalize that property deal. Well, coming up next, Grant County International Airport will receive about $10 million in federal grant money for runway and runway lighting reconstruction. The Washington State Department of Commerce Office of Crime Victims Advocacy has awarded Ephrata significant grant money. And Leavenworth is being recognized as one of the best locations in the Pacific Northwest to experience autumn. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Being able to support yourself and your family is an important part of who we are. We all need to know we're able to provide ourselves with a secure future. Some job seekers have a harder time finding work. That's why Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is here, a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to help people find work. When you shop at or donate to Goodwill, you're really being a job creator, and that's a good thing for everyone's future. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Some jobs are a calling. They take passion and a devotion to the community. They're here for your kids, guiding the next generation of leaders. At GISA Credit Union, we help you support local teachers. Every purchase you make with a GISA Local Heroes Affinity debit card, we make a donation to select teacher organizations. After all, we can never repay them, but we can do our best to help a little with the GISA Teachers Affinity debit card.
With 15,000 square feet to explore, you'll find something special at the Antique Mall at Cashmere. For the do-it-yourselfers and those with a keen eye for making something old, fresh and new again, the Antique Mall at Cashmere is the place to come find your next project. From the coin enthusiasts to avid collectors, Antique Mall at Cashmere has treasures in every corner. Come find your treasure today. Antique Mall at Cashmere's friendly staff is here to help. Stop on by today.
Welcome back. In other news, Grant County International Airport will receive about $10 million in federal grant money for runway and runway lighting reconstruction. House Representative Dan Newhouse announced the $9.9 million grant is based on the airport's Master Improvement Plan, which was submitted to the Federal Aviation Administration. Newhouse commented that the airport serves both commercial and military users and serves as a key facility for test flights and air control traffic. He said the grant represents a substantial federal investment that will allow Moses Lake to improve one of the largest airfields in the United States. The Washington State Department of Commerce Office of Crime Victims Advocacy has awarded more than $7.2 million in grants to 22 organizations throughout the state serving victims and survivors of crime. The only north central Washington city to receive the grant money is Ephrata and the organization New Hope. There were 77 applicants with final grant amounts ranging from just over $13,000 all the way up to $400,000. New Hope and Ephrata received $392,015 in that grant money, which focuses on communities with gaps in services such as housing assistance and victims of hate crimes. The grants announced this week are for 2 years. Commerce and the Department of Social and Health Services, or DSHS, will issue another round of funding for similar purposes in the spring of 2020. Well, Leavenworth is being recognized as one of the best locations in the Pacific Northwest to experience autumn. A study conducted by Expedia ranked 21 small towns across the country based on best times for fall foliage, nearby outdoor recreation, and number of fall festivals, breweries, wineries, and restaurants. Leavenworth came in second place for the Pacific Northwest, sandwiched between Coeur d'Alene as number 1 and Hood River, Oregon as number 3. Winthrop was ranked number 7 on the list, compiled by CarRentals.com. The blog site identified the Washington State Autumn Leaf Festival and Oktoberfest as seasonal events that helped the Bavarian-themed towns high ranking in that latest study. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Are you like many who are lacking in their retirement plan but are skeptical to talk to an advisor? Are you concerned about where you should put your money or who to trust? At Solomon Financial, we are more about the people we serve than policies or products. We are a fee-based fiduciary with the mission of giving you the peace of mind so you can live the retirement of your dreams. If you have any of these questions or concerns, we'd welcome you to come see us.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
When you're ready to purchase your next vehicle, make sure you stop by Sangster Motors. They're your locally owned and operated Buick and GMC dealer offering 4 acres of new and quality used inventory. Their philosophy is simple. They offer you the best product at a competitive price, all with impeccable service. Stop in today, have some popcorn or coffee at Gear Up Java, let the kids play, and talk with one of the Sangsters about your next vehicle. You'll find them on the corner of 9th and Miller in Wenatchee or online at sangstermotors.com. Caring about your family is what brings you back to theirs.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's feature story, a flyer promoting links to white nationalist websites has put the Wenatchee Valley College campus on edge just days before the start of classes coming up on Monday. NCWLIFE Jefferson Robbins tells us more.
On September 10th, 9th Street neighbors of Wenatchee Valley College found a series of flyers on their sidewalks, bagged in plastic and weighted down with stones. The flyers were headlined, "No White Guilt," and included links to websites that promote white nationalism and anti-Semitism. Aaron Tofty Nordvik, the college's Associate Dean of Campus Life, Equity, and Inclusion, says the flyer is a recruitment poster for white nationalist causes. That's a concern for a campus where classes just started Monday, and 46% of students are Latinx.
Mostly, hopefully, we feel that it wasn't directly targeted at this point, and the students, are sad that this kind of rhetoric is still out there.
In response, the college's Bias Incident Response Team assessed the issue, looking at campus safety. Wenatchee police were informed, and College President Jim Richardson reached out in a campus-wide memo, saying bias against students will not be tolerated. So far, there's been no repeat of the flyers, which have also been distributed in places as far away as Terre Haute, Indiana, and the Chicago suburbs. But it's not the first time it's happened at WVC.
As a college, we really want to respond to our student needs, and we want to respond quickly, and so we just are always here for the students and trying to keep a safe campus.
Jefferson Robbins, NCWLIFE.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. And before we get to those details, as we always do, let's take a look outside our weather window and see how things look this afternoon and in and around the Wenatchee Valley in North Central Washington. Beautiful shot once again from our Rondo Rock Sky-Fi camera, looking back at Turtle Rock, as you can see there in the middle of your screen. Beautiful Columbia River and the different shades of colors on the Cascades, with some different clouds out there today too. High level, mid-level, and even some low-level clouds, especially in the upper elevations today. But most of the shower activity from today's little storm system that moved through, mainly in the northern mountains of Washington. Just windy conditions for most of us here in North Central Washington. Today's highs, though, much warmer than we've seen lately. 73 degrees unofficially, and that is exactly where we should be for this time of year as far as high temperatures go. We were almost exactly where we should be for lows, too. 50 this morning, 49 is where we should be for an overnight low. 90 degrees, our record high. That was set back in 2009. Record low, it was a chilly one in 1984 at 38 degrees. Keep this 38 degrees in your memory, because you're going to see it again here a little bit later in our weather forecast. No new precipitation the past 24 hours, and so far this year we've still picked up 5.71 inches. Sunrise this morning 6:50, and the sun sets tonight at 6:55. Let's take a look at how your hump day Wednesday will shape up. A lot less wind wind for Wednesday. And I'll tell you what, if you have outdoor plans planned for the next couple of days, you're in luck. Wednesday and Thursday look beautiful. 73 in Moses Lake, 72 for Quincy and Ephrata. Beautiful in Ellensburg at 69. Not too windy down there either tomorrow. 71 for Wenatchee and Cashmere. A little bit cooler into the 60s for upper elevations towns like Leavenworth and Lake Wenatchee. And then just beautiful. Eniat and Chelan 70, as well as you folks up in Omak. Taking a look at that surface loop now. Tonight we will see mostly cloudy skies. Winds will continue out there about 10 to 20 miles an hour, pretty much like they were all day today. And it's centered right here around the Wenatchee Valley. The red and orange areas are the windiest, and that will die down overnight. As we get into Wednesday, then we'll start off with lots of sunshine, then increasing clouds throughout the day on Wednesday. It will be mild, a little bit of a ridge of high pressure holding on for at least another day, maybe two in the Wenatchee Valley. Thursday looks nice, partly cloudy, a little bit breezy, and that's before this storm system right here, this little front moves through. That'll bring showers into western Washington and maybe spilling over into places like Cle Elum. But Friday, that's our best shot. A 40% chance of rain. Notice the snowflakes right here in the Cascades and all through the Rocky Mountains north of Montana. That will all move in and inundate the inland and Pacific Northwest on Saturday. Mostly cloudy, and we are talking much cooler as we get into the upcoming weekend. A 40% chance for mainly rain showers in central and eastern Washington. By Sunday, not ruling out an AM shower, maybe a snowflake or two Sunday morning. Partly cloudy skies then by afternoon. It will stay on the cool side for Sunday, and the same goes for Monday. We will dry out, but with a big trough of low pressure in place, a lot of colder air will continue to funnel down inside that trough. So we will see plenty of sun on Monday as we start our next work week, but it will remain unseasonably cool. Let's take a look now at your quick lube and tune 7-day forecast. Tonight, about where we should be for this time of year, 50 degrees for an overnight low, and a nice next couple of days, as I mentioned. Enjoy it. 71 for both Wednesday and Thursday. Just a little bit breezy on Thursday afternoon, but nothing like we're seeing today as far as wind. A cool down begins then on Friday. 40% chance of rain, mostly cloudy. Notice that low temperature, 42, but look at this for Saturday. A 40% chance of rain, 57 your high, and 38. Our overnight low, that may set a record this weekend. Sunday, just a slight chance for a morning shower, 57 the high temperature. And then as we kick off our next work week, sunny and still cool on Monday with a high then of 58. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, a night sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
My first experience with CVCH, I had to come in with my daughter by myself with a cut in my hand that required stitches. And the care and compassion of CVCH was really significant, that they took the care and compassion and made me feel more as a human instead of just a patient there. The care they have for their community all around, inside and outside the clinic, is what I feel like is different. And that's what makes me want to come back to CVCH and recommend them to my friends and family.
Only one dealership in Wenatchee has Motor Trend's SUV of the Year and Truck of the Year. That's right, Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram has the all-new Jeep Wrangler and the all-new Ram 1500 pickup. Or get the best of both worlds in the new Jeep Gladiator. Visit Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram today for more information on these award winners and see why there's no reason to leave town to buy your next vehicle.
Hi, I'm Ricardo, and this is Amanda, and we are from Impact Auto Sales,
where you can expect a hassle-free car buying experience. With our wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, let one of our friendly sales staff help you find the vehicle that fits your lifestyle. We have financing available for all credit types and great low rates for first-time buyers. Call us today at 888-8000 or stop by 3522 State Highway 97A in Wenatchee. Impact Auto Sales, where we strive to make an impact on your life and not your wallet.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Tuesday to you. Thanks for joining us here on the NCWLIFE channel. Coming up on the prep soccer schedule for the day today, well, it's a fairly busy one, and we'll have part of that on TV tonight. Cashmere's on the road at Overlake today. Chelan hosts Brewster, while Bridgeport is at Manson. Seal is at Quincy. Ephrata hosts Othello. Then coming up tonight, 7 o'clock, Moses Lake takes on Eisenhower, while Eastmont plays at Wenatchee at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. We'll have the Battle of the Bridge live here on the NCWLIFE channel, beginning with the pregame with Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen at 6:45. On the volleyball courts tonight, Waterville-Mansfield travels to Elmira Cooley. Manson hosts Brewster, and LaSalle is at Cascade. Coming up at 7, it's Cashmere at Quincy. East Valley's in Ephrata, and Wenatchee is hosting Eastmont, yes, in the Battle of the Bridge. Actually, things really got going this afternoon. Prior to soccer and volleyball, it was in the pool. Wenatchee hosting Eastmont, Panthers and Wildcats. On the cross-country schedule earlier today, Okanagan playing host to Cascade, Cashmere, Lake Roosevelt, Omak, Tonasket, and Wilson Creek in some cross-country running. Following soccer tonight, we're teeing up a couple of football games this week on the NCWLIFE channel. It begins with Thursday Night Lights and will feature the Eisenhower Cadets and Wenatchee Panthers at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. Join Grant Olson and yours truly for the play-by-play pregame at 6:45. The Cadets are 1-2 on the season, while the Panthers are 2-1. Then on Friday, it's 3-0 Eastmont hosting 3-0 West Valley of Spokane. That'll be at Wildcat Stadium. Grant will be joined by Steve Sandman for the play-by-play with that pregame Friday night at 6:45. Now, speaking of high school football, the WIAA has announced 3 sites for state high school football championships this season, all in Pierce County, but none in the Tacoma Dome. Mount Tahoma Stadium in Tacoma will host the Class 1B and 4A championships. Sparks Stadium in Puyallup will host the 3A and 2A title games. And Harry E. Lang Stadium in Lakewood will host the 1A and 2B championships. Games will all be played on Saturday, December 7th, with the first games kicking off at noon, second games at 4 p.m. WIAA Executive Board voted in June not to renew its contract with the Tacoma Dome as the host site for 6 football state championships, citing fan experience and rising costs of using the Dome as primary reasons behind the decision. Now, the 3 stadiums in the Tacoma area, all within about 13 miles of each other, with a ticket purchased at one site good for all 3, so fans can take in plausibly multiple games. Well, the Seahawks are looking to rebound following Sunday's 33-27 loss to the New Orleans Saints. Coach Pete Carroll says after reviewing the film that it was a case of mistakes, missed opportunities, and really good team on the other side of the ball.
After watching the film, it accentuates the frustration of not performing like we need to against a team like that. I really felt like the Saints were a really solid team across the board, and I really respect that kind of team because they're hard to beat, and that's kind of how they played. And they didn't get a lot of yards, and they didn't stop us yardage-wise and all that. They didn't need to. They just played good, hard football and were up for the opportunities and maximized them and did a nice job with it. And we left ourselves behind by such a margin that there wasn't enough time to get back in it to do it right. So we made enough errors and things too along the way that added to the frustration, because we need to play a lot cleaner against a good football team, and we didn't do that. So it's a missed opportunity at home for sure. And there's just so many areas of our game that we can continue to improve at, that we can see what the potential is. We can see that illustrated, but we need to come through and play cleaner. And so that's really what the focus will continue to be. We haven't left that focus yet, but this game kind of accentuated it. And as you know, I hate learning the hard way, and we had to do some of that hard lessons in this game.
Now, Carroll says Seattle will have to clean things up when they face Arizona rookie quarterback Kyler Murray this Sunday.
He's a fantastic athlete, and he can throw the ball all over the place, and you can see why he's that pick and all of that. He's already played a bunch of ball, and he's got a lot of experience already. His arc is going to be, a steep one. He's going to go, and so his numbers aren't great yet. The QB rating isn't high, but he's already completing over 60% of his passes, and he's made a bunch of plays, and he's averaging over 6 yards a carry, and he's figuring into what's going on in a big way, and he's a handful.
Seattle kicks off Sunday at Arizona at 1:05 in the afternoon. Well, the Mariners begin the final 6 games of the homestand tonight with the Houston Astros in town. Houston coming in after clinching their 3rd consecutive American League West title. Seattle will start rookie Justin Dunn, who is still looking for his first big league win. The Stros will counter with Garrett Cole, who's 18-5 with 302 strikeouts. He's just 11 strikeouts away from tying the club record set by J.R. Richard back in 1978. First pitch at T-Mobile Park at 7:10. Now, as we look at the chase for the wild card playoff spots in the American League, the lead for Oakland is a game and a half in front of Tampa Bay for the first wild card playoff spot. The Rays lead the Indians by a half game for the final spot. Now, Oakland hosts the Angels in the first of 2 games tonight, then finishes with 4 games in Seattle. So the Mariners could play the spoiler. Rays host the Yankees in the first of 2 tonight, and then finish with 3 games in Toronto. Cleveland has the White Sox in town for the next 3, and then finishes, strangely enough, with 3 interleg games against the Washington Nationals at Jacobs Field. The Nats lead the National League wildcard race by a half game over Milwaukee. So all coming down to the last weekend. That's sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. And finally tonight, a suspect in Moses Lake had to learn twice about the wisdom of messing with a police dog. 30-year-old Timothy Riggins of Moses Lake ran from officers last Friday as they were responding to a domestic violence call. Officer Brad Zook was nearby with K-9 Rex, who quickly caught up with Riggins and took him down on a stack of sheetrock. But that wasn't the end of the encounter. Riggins also had a warrant out for his arrest. Here's a look at the dramatic video of Rex in action.
What, 24 back? I had the subject. Okay. Rex. Look. Hey. Look. Stay right there. If you take off again, you're gonna get bit. On the ground. Get on the ground now. Get him! Turn around! Get on the ground! Turn over! Rex, loose! What's it? Good boy! Yeah! Oh, good boy! Oh, good boy! Yeah, you got that.
Pretty amazing. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
NCW Life channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's Learn, Guada TV, Street Talk and Other Stuff, the 12th District, Life with Lisa, and the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Life channel is your local TV station.
Are you watching me? If you're watching me and you are a business owner in North Central Washington, your potential customers could be seeing your TV commercial right now. With Solion Broadcasting, TV advertising is effective and affordable. Place your ads on the network best suited to your potential customers or get top-of-mind awareness with 16 cable networks, including NCW Life, your local TV channel. Give Solion Broadcasting a call at 888-2020 today to see how easy and affordable it is to advertise on TV.